Hey, today we're going to dive into the latest major order, touch on some concerns with Sony's new end user license agreement, and I'll share my thoughts on the DSS because I'm a little worried about it. And not only that, there's plenty more to talk about, so if you want to support the channel, feel free by tapping the like button and subscribe with notifications turned on. Let's look at the newest major order that popped up this morning. What I'll do is quickly go over the briefing, then I'll let you know which planet to go to and the best approach for this on the Galactic War map. Now, before we get into that, the Arrowhead devs have acknowledged us when we pulled off a gambit on the Automaton side. You can see right here they wrote, "Meanwhile, the Automatons attempted to capitalize on our noble scientific efforts by assaulting Mastia, intending to cut off the DSS logistics hub from the DSS itself. But the Helldivers quickly organized a daring counterattack, saving Mastia and liberating Shell in the process." Now, that right there is awesome to see, but this isn't the most important part of this success message. There's something here that should concern us. We're not done defending Turin at all. The reason why is if you check out the paragraph right here, it clearly explains that we have to protect Turin at all costs. So it says, "Thanks to these valiant efforts, ground has been broken on the new Entomology Center on Turin. Super Earth's leading Terminid experts and FTL engineers from across the galaxy have converged on the planet to begin development of high-efficiency Alcubierre drives. These new drives will enable the Democracy space station to warp between planets at the Helldivers' direction, dispensing freedom wherever it is needed. Research and development of this new technology will take weeks. The center must remain safe from Terminid infestation until then, or our research progress will be lost." Yeah. We not only have to worry about Gallivare and Tarsh, but also need to keep an eye out for Turin. As you can see, it can be attacked by the Terminids still, which would be disastrous. But yeah, they even mentioned that it will take weeks to develop the new technology, and it must remain safe from the Terminids. So keep an eye out for Turin. We're not done yet. We absolutely have to defend it still, so just keep an eye out for it. With that aside, the briefing right here does include some news that the Automatons might be hiding information that could be quite useful. And we also know that the planet next we have to liberate is Chloral, or Chloral, whichever. So right here, the briefing mentioned this: "We have identified atmospheric readings on Chloral, indicating the Automatons are already engaging in deep mantle mining operations on the planet. Liberating their mining tunnels and repurposing their facilities would greatly accelerate the construction of the deep mantle forge. Further, it would deny the Automatons their own access to the high-cost mine network and reveal insight into their larger intentions." So yeah, once we're done with this major order, we'll be able to find out what the Automatons are planning, and we'll be moving on to the next phase, which might be the last one, but we'll find out as time goes on. Anyway, I'm sure some of you are probably wondering which planet we should liberate first. Well, you can see that Chloral is not accessible yet. We first need to liberate either Ember or Plaza. So back to my original question, which planet should we liberate first? The planet I recommend you go to is Ember. The DK rate on Plaza is slightly higher, currently at like 2.50, whereas Ember is at 2.00. We'll be much better off attacking Ember. This will give us access to Chloral and also free up the entire Talus sector. Now, to be fair, even if the situations were reversed and Ember had a DK rate of 2.50, I would still recommend Ember because it would free up that sector and let us travel over to the main planet we have to liberate. So my final recommendation is this: keep an eye out on Turin while we're liberating Ember, because you never know what might happen. The Terminids could easily attack Turin while we're fighting off the Automatons, so that's something to keep in mind. Moving along, we need to discuss Sony's updated end user license agreement. If you're unaware, Sony has updated their EULA, which stands for end user license agreement, and this has upset a lot of fans to the point where they believe Sony is up to something. But that's not necessarily the case. Now, I'm not a lawyer, but I'm pretty sure the changes that have been made are specifically for those who live in California. There was a law recently passed in California that requires companies selling you a game to inform you that you're essentially being licensed the game instead of actually owning it. That's really it. Even the community manager Twinbeard discussed this recently by responding to a player on the Helldivers 2 Discord and said, "Hopefully not backlash. There's no practical change at all. As far as I know, the amended EULA is just clarification for one or some states in the US where it's required by law to mention the distinction between a license to play a game through Steam rather than owning it. Nothing to do with HD2, Arrowhead, or Sony, as far as I know. Not only that, with the whole situation going on with the end user license agreement, Twinbeard even informed us that he will let us know if anything changes or if anything that we, need to know about, he'll let us know about. So right here he said, "We're very aware of the potential risk of this escalating due to ye old account gate, and we're monitoring it. If things flare up, we can always make an announcement. Again though, nothing's changed in, for or with the game as far as I know. Thanks for the heads upping regardless." So yeah, as you can see, there's nothing to worry about at all, and everything is fine. Neither Arrowhead nor Sony are doing anything shady. There's no need to pull out the torches and pitchforks, right? Everything is okay, and you should ignore this. Now, not only did Twinbeard respond to that message, but he also gave us sort of a hint that they're planning on doing something special for Liberty Day, which is on October 26th this month. He wrote this to a player and said, "There's a minor connection to IRL stuff, but primarily it's lore connected and driven. If you want to know more on Liberty Day, just stay tuned. We're getting there, and there will be more info about it here and there." As you can tell, eventually they're going to drop news about Liberty Day, and it's going to be quite exciting. I've been waiting for this for quite some time. I've also talked a little bit about this in another video, but if you didn't watch that, there was a leaker who discovered that the Arrowhead developers plan on giving us the original Helldivers 1 armor. There's no word on whether it's going to be free, meaning it's given to us directly, or if they're planning on releasing this in the shop to purchase with in-game currency. That's what we don't know, but I would imagine it'll be handed out to everyone who logs in, just like they did with the Golden Eagle armor. Once I find out more information about this, I'll be sure to update you all on that. Next, I'd like to talk about the Democracy Space Station. We're getting closer to finishing it, yet I've seen some concerns in the comment section that even made me concerned about it. One comment brought up a good point that the DSS could very well end up being just a ship upgrade for the destroyer, essentially meaning we won't be able to enter the DSS as some of us have thought. The developers even mentioned that it will feature a voting system, but they didn't necessarily say that the voting will be done within the DSS. I think if it's not going to be a hub area or a client station that can be accessible, that might be a letdown, at least for me anyway. Of course, this is just me speculating, and I could be wrong about that, and hopefully so. I'd love to see a social hub area, or at least a new area to explore, similar to the Destroyer. Anyway, I'd like to know your thoughts on this and whether or not you think the DSS will be accessible or not. Let me know by posting your response in the comments below. We're now going to move forward and showcase 3 more general Brasch tips that I think you'll find quite enjoyable to watch. As I've mentioned in the previous video, I'm not claiming these are new, and you might have already seen them. So with that being said, let's check them out, and you can catch me at the end of the clip.
Now, another helpful tip from General Brasch.
Utilize Super Earth's call and response tagging system to communicate with your squad mates. Like this.
Look, ammo. On. Look, enemy. On it.
Because if there's one thing I've learned, it's that there is no liberation without communication. Brash tactics. Use them or die trying.
And now, another helpful tip from General Brasch.
If you choose to reload your weapon before the current mag is empty, those bullets end up wasted on the ground, instead of buried in the beating hearts of our enemies. I say, waste enemies, not bullets. Brash tactics. Use them or die trying.
Another helpful tip from General Brasch.
No Helldiver can liberate the galaxy alone. That's why we have team weapons. One Helldiver shoots, another reloads. Together, they create an unstoppable path of wanton liberation. And don't worry, one stratagem comes with both weapon and reload pack. That's a 2-in-1 combo, soldier. Brash tactics. Use them or die trying.
Okay, with the commercials to the side, we have to talk about Arrowwood's recent announcement. There's a chance they could win another award, but this time it's for either Best Multiplayer Game, Console Game of the Year, or Best Game Trailer for The Fight for Freedom Begins launch trailer. These are the three options available, so for the sweet love of liberty, cast your vote, and let's help the developers at Arrowwood win another award. This link can be found in the video description where the sources and links are listed. This will redirect you to the game's radar site so you can vote. Vote now. So on a completely different topic, what type of Warbond would you like to see next? I've seen someone on Reddit suggest a stealth Warbond, but what about a Warbond that includes the Angel stratagem from Helldivers 1? Well, there's a post on Reddit where this person created a thread about a support pack from HD1 that features the last 16 sickle, which we already have of course, but what we don't have is the AD289 Angel Rover. I'm a big fan of healing and supporting my fellow divers, so I would rather see another Warbond with this stratagem, perhaps including a new primary weapon with it. I know a few of you were not a big fan of the last Warbond because it included 2 stratagems, so maybe you won't be a fan of this idea either. Yet, feel free to chime in and let me know what you would like to see in the next Warbond. Not only that, but I would like to know your thoughts about everything we've talked about in today's video. The end user license agreement, we could talk about Liberty Day, we could talk about DSS, the Major Order. Just let me know your thoughts about everything we've talked about because I'd love to have a great discussion with you all in the comments below. As I always do, I try to interact with you guys as much as I can. Maybe I'll miss a few comments here and there, but I try my best to reply to most of them. With all the information being said, this is your Helldivers 2 news. If you guys would like to be featured in the next video, all you have to do is comment down below. The first comment is by mysterious__1. The blueprint for the weapon base says, Weapon Bay requires skilled personnel, except applicants with perfect patriotism scores only. Yeah, you guys have better eyesight than me. I even commented in this specific comment and said, yeah, man, you have great vision or great eyesight. But yeah, right there, that's what it says. But let's check out the second comment by Stephen Foss 3015. Hope we get the Angel Guard Dog and Hill Gun from Helldivers 1. So technically we do have a Hill Gun, that's the stim pistol. But as for the Angel Guard Dog, that would be cool to see as well. And last but not least, we have Cloaker. Finally, we can pay our respects to our Helldivers ancestors for their sacrifice during the first Galactic War by wearing their traditional armor. This is 101% not a marketing scheme. Oh, hilarious stuff. And also, I did have a request right here by Ashir Steckler. Oh my gosh. Hopefully I'm not messing up your name there, bud. 7786, and he asked me to say this. Make me a top comment so that Glitch has to verbally say, Sweet Liberty, my leg! There you go. You got me to say it regardless. I know you didn't receive the top comment, but I had to include that in there. Hopefully you found that entertaining as much as I did. I mean, there you go. So anyways, thank you guys so much for checking out the channel. If you haven't already, subscribe, turn on notifications, and give this video a like. And I'll see you guys in the next one.